Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Modern and Modest. Alhamdulillah, beautiful Monday morning. It is spring, the sun's out and Durban's always beautiful. Today we bring you a very interesting guest, rather unusual, a personal chef. So with us today we've got Asya Abu Baker. Assalamu alaikum Asya and welcome to our show.
Wa alaikum salam. It's such a pleasure to be at your show.
Okay, so Asya, when I got news of interviewing you, I was quite amazed at having a personal chef, especially with our lifestyle today and the busy, you know, we're always busy, we're working, or you get the last minute guest that pops up at your door and you're not sure as to how you need to entertain and go about doing it. But now you've got all the answers to it. So before we find out more about what a personal chef is, what does it entail, maybe tell our viewers more about yourself.
I'm a simple housewife that have 2 kids, married, living a simple life like every other woman. And that's when the idea came up. I made my passion into a reality. I got my dreams out and being a simple housewife, and I love being in the kitchen, I love cooking. So that's how I got into this profession.
Okay. So can you give us the start and end of a personal chef? What does it entail? What is it all about? What do you actually do?
Okay, the personal chef is not like every other chef we will get at the restaurant. I come into my client's premises and I cater for you guys, meaning it's everything with your stuff. It's only my labor that you'll pay for, and when I pitch up over there, it's whatever stuff, whatever other spices that I have to bring. That's whatever I charge for, but everything else is yours. That's what a personal chef is. I actually am out there to make the ladies' life a much more easier. Those who have a very busy schedule, who have a very mad schedule in their life and a rat race. So I go into your house and I cater for your smaller functions, or just for a dinner party. But a week before your function, I actually sit down and we actually make up a list of what we need, because obviously you're going to get the stuff for me. So I sit with you guys. It's either my menu or you guys' menu, and that's how I go about doing it. And I love what I do.
So how long have you been a personal chef for?
I would say more or less a year now that I'm being there, and a lot of people do not know when you say to somebody what's your profession, and you say a personal chef, and they always think, okay, she's behind in a restaurant kitchen or something. No, my job is out there to make every busy woman's life easier, for anybody that needs that help, that extra help to make that warm meal. That's what I am for.
So when you cater, you mentioned now, you know, you cater for families or smaller functions. How many people can you cope catering for?
More or less, I would say about 20 people. About 20 people, because I don't have a helper. I do all by myself. I love being in my own zone and catering for for the people out there. But just about 20 people. I'm not ready as yet in order to give that exposure, in order to cater for more functions. But a small dinner, family get together, I'm there to make your life a bit more easier.
Okay. So Asya, when it comes to catering, there's 2 aspects to it. We've got the chef, where you prepare the meal, and then you also get the catering side of it, where you lay out your tables, you do the decor. Do you provide both those services?
I do provide those both services. Depends on what the client is having and says, Asya, okay, I don't have enough time. Could you actually lay my table? The cutlery is left out by their helper. Everything is laid out. All I have to do is get my creative ideas in it and lay the table out for them. And with my clients, if I have to go up, okay, I phone them up, I need flowers, I need these for that for the table, and etc. They provide for it. As long as my client is happy, I'm happy at the end of the day.
Okay, so let's chat about menus. What is your popular menu that you would put forward, and what type of suggestions do your clients come up with, and how do you cope? What if they request something that you've never prepared before?
Okay, very good question. My popular dish at the moment, a lot of amongst my clients, is the dudi halvo as a sweet dish, and the main dish is the biryani, and I marinate a lot of dry stuff. For now, they love that. And I try to give my innovative ideas by adding, for the starters, some of my finger foods that I have created, and they really like it. And to come to your second question about how do I go about, I try my best to tell them, because it's to be honest is the best policy. I would say, I would speak to my client, okay, I haven't created this or I haven't made this. I have no idea how to cook this. So maybe can we use the same theme if it's, for example, with seafood. Okay, Asya, I need this cocktail to be done and I haven't done it. I will actually give them something in the seafood, but in my own Chef Asya style. So they get very excited about that, and they have, what's more important when your clients have your full trust on you and they say, Asya, we're leaving. Meals are very important. When you're cooking for somebody, it becomes like as if you're cooking in your own home. So when they have given you that trust, you just go with the flow and you follow your heart, and that's what I do, and they get very happy with it and they understand. I'm glad that I have good clients and hoping to get more clients in the future which will understand that there's certain things that we all in the world do not know, and we're still learning from it, and I'm also in the learning process, and that's good about it. And
so menu, your style of food, would you say it's more Indian dishes, or do you do a bit of a fusion food?
I would say both, half and half, both of each I would go. It depends on as I said, it depends on the client, on their events, on their taste buds, on what they want to have. And I have a lot of clients who comes in and tell Asya, today we want to have fully seafood, or today we want to have something that you had created that we've seen on your page, and can you do that with maybe some Italian spice on it with an Indian touch on it. So I move around, meaning I like to go around and explore and experiment my stuff, and I have my clients who have their full trust in me and they're very happy at the end of the day.
Let's chat about spices and flavors. We know that a great dish comes with lots of flavor. What type of spices do you use for your dishes? And how do you cater for clients that can't handle too much of spice? Maybe they prefer something more bland. What are your choices?
Okay, so when I have spices, first of all, it has a passion. Spices come from within, where you make them your best friend, they'll become your best friend. When being in the kitchen, I feel everything in the kitchen is my best friend, because I'm most of the time being in the kitchen. So I understand and I know the value of using a red spice to a turmeric spice. You know what's the balance, and if you use too much of turmeric, it can actually poison a person, and if you use too much of spice, it can actually endanger into a person. So you have to in a way blend the spices. My spices are generally which every woman will have in the kitchen. I use the same spices that they would use, but I have a little of my secret touches where my grandma or my mom have inhaled in me, that I bring that touch into the food. And when it comes to mild food, it depends on what they want. It all depends on a mild. Obviously, when you're having a basic normal chicken curry and rice, you cannot have it bland, because then obviously it will not taste nice. It depends on what dishes they want. If it's with grilled stuff, it's easier to work around that. So if they say we want something mild, so I would always prefer that don't go for the curry side or for anything, go for the grilled side, because it's easier to work with the spices and you can have your taste buds mild, and I can prepare a mild dish for you. So that's how I work around. I make the spices my best friend, and they are. I love being in the kitchen.
So just to take us through, when you're a personal chef and your clients contact you to cater for them, how does it work? Do you charge an hourly rate? And how many, on average, how many hours do you need to spend in a home to prepare a 5-course meal?
Okay, for a 5-course meal, obviously it will be from the morning till the afternoon. Depends on what 5-course meal they're preparing. It always go on the menu. Some dishes are very easy, within a click of a finger it's done, and other dishes take time in order to actually see it, to bake it, to actually have it in the oven or fry it. So you need to have to give that answer, in order you need to know what are you cooking for that 5-course meal.
Sure.
I charge per hour, but obviously my certain meals will not be done in an hour. I work, and I don't like to make my client feel uncomfortable. Okay, now that I have to dig deeper into my pocket. No, I understand the person as I am. If I have to do something, get somebody to cater for me, they'll know my way of my feeling. I give them a budgeted rate where they'll be happy, and so I'm walking out happy as well, because it is my hard work at the end of the day.
Sure.
So I always think before before me, I think for my clients first. Will it be able to them to fit in? And above all, they need to come back with a good feedback, because cooking is my passion, and when I give all my love and affection to something, I want it to grow, I want it to be happy. And to see the joy, my joy is to see the double joy when my client come back and give me that warm hug and that big smile and saying, Asya, we loved everything about it. We loved every dish. So
I suppose it's also, if you keep your client happy, you'd have them consistently booking you for
you
their
always
functions.
have to think about not only with price wise, but also with the texture of the food, with them understanding your morals and rules. And when I say rules, I mean I don't need anybody in the kitchen when I work. I do all by myself. It's a challenging task at some time where you have a limited budgeted time, because I'm a mom as well. So I need to see to my kids, pick them up, drop them off. They've got chores to do from school. So I need to be a mom, a wife, and a self-employed person at the same time. So I want to make everybody happy. So when I'm in the kitchen, I prefer being on my own, because it's my time, my space. And I know this is how I work. I don't have to have anybody on me, or I don't have to be on anybody. I don't like to scold somebody. That's hard for me to have a domestic work, because I'm not that person.
I suppose it also keeps within your standard. You have a certain standard, and that allows you to.
That's true. And I want everybody to be happy at the end of the day.
Okay, so Asya, we know that being a personal chef is something that you're very passionate about, because we can hear you speaking from your heart. But is this a viable career for just about anybody, or do you really just have to have a passion for food?
I would say that as a person who, individual, being a male or a female, and if you love being in the kitchen and having the passion of food, I don't think you need to think twice. Just go out and make this dream a reality, as I have done. It's going to take a long road to do it, but eventually you'll get there. If you love the food and you love passion about eating out and tasting other people's food and bringing in your own ideas, go out and make your dream into a reality, as I've done. And it's excellent, because not only in SA, but I think around the world, it's a very good scope in order to become a personal chef, a chef on its own, or a personal chef. So as you like, please go out. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a very good experience, because not only you love being in the kitchen, but you meet people every day, which I love. I'm a very bubbly person, and I love meeting people.
Okay, we'll take a quick ad break, and when back, Asya would surprise us from her kitchen to yours. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Modern and Modest. With me today we have a personal chef, Asya Abu Baker. So Asya, surprise our viewers with what you're bringing from your kitchen to their kitchens. Tell us what you're going to be demoing for us today.
Well, I've innovated a very unique kind of milkshake, which is the date chocolate almond milkshake. So I'm going to show you guys how I came about doing it. I woke up one morning and I was thinking about it all day the night before, and I'm thinking I need to put this into action. And I woke up one morning and I made this, and everybody who have ever tasted the milkshake really loved it. So today, you guys, I'm going to show you how to make this milkshake. You need to have some scoops of chocolate, any chocolate ice cream to your liking, but it must be plain chocolate. So I'm going to make it nice and rich.
So about 4 scoops of your chocolate ice cream?
I would say make it 5, because we want it nice and rich, the chocolate to actually taste in it. Some ice cubes, if you have, you can put some ice cubes in it. And full cream milk, fresh cream milk, any milk that you like.
So is that a full liter that you're putting in?
Not full liter, I'm just going to put maybe half of it.
Okay.
And if we need more ice cream, we will add to it. I'm adding the dates.
Dates, yeah.
Yes, some seedless dates will be nice. Even if they have seeds on it, remove them. About 4 or 5, just to give it that date effect onto it. Some almonds. Well, I love almonds, so.
Blanched almonds.
Yes.
Okay.
You can have some condensed milk to give it more of the richness in it.
So about how many tablespoons?
About I would say about 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
And any fresh cream, but I like the Ola whipped fresh cream, so add about half of this in it. Chocolate syrup ice cream, just to give it a chocolate effect onto it. Some honey. Just say a tablespoon of a honey and a tablespoon of your chocolate syrup.
So it's a very sweet milkshake.
Yes, and you're having some date syrup, which I love this. You can add like about 2 tablespoons of this. And I've pre-made already custard, chocolate custard. So I'm just adding some chocolate.
So how would you make your chocolate custard?
Normally, how you normally make it, the only thing that you're going to have, the trick on it, is by whipping some cocoa into some warm milk and immediately throwing it into your custard to give it that effect. So it depends on how chocolatey you want it. So I would say about 2 or 3 tablespoons with your custard. You mix it with warm milk and you throw it in. Then we are ready to blend the whole milkshake.
Okay, so Asya, your milkshake is all blended. Do you blend the dates and the almonds completely, or do you keep some whole pieces in your milkshake?
No, I totally blend it because for it being like that is because a lot of people do not like almonds and do not like dates. So when you blend it, even a kid will not understand. They'll only think, okay, mommy, it's chocolate milkshake. So I've come up with this idea because even in Ramadan, it's absolutely an excellent idea with people who are not willing to have their almonds or their dates or have their honey. So I say this is the best creative idea.
So it's got everything in it to energize you for the day and sustain you. So what else can we do to this chocolate milkshake? If you want to add, can you add fruit to it? If you want to add a banana, can you actually change it a bit?
You can change it a bit. You can have, with the same rest of that in it, you can add a banana to have it as a smoothie in the morning. Yeah. If you feel not having milk, you can actually blend everything with plain yogurt, a bit of ice, and it becomes like a thick almond and kajur smoothie for you in the morning. So it's actually not having your morning meal. You can actually sip on that and it fills you up the whole day.
It's a very nice morning meal with the dates and the almonds, and you put quite a bit of condensed milk there as well. So what other milkshake recipes that's popular and you do it quite often that you can share with our viewers?
I came up with another milkshake. I was also thinking about it and I had to put it back into action. It was a vanilla custard with honey and mango. A ripe mango milkshake with vanilla custard, and you can either buy the ultra mild custard or make your home custard. It's fine, and you add a bit of honey inside with fresh cream, and it is absolutely divine.
So that would be vanilla ice cream
with mango
and a ripe mango.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be nice now for spring and
summer. That's right. So you have your vanilla ice cream, your vanilla custard, and you have a bit of honey and your mango inside. Absolutely divine.
Okay. So with your chocolate milkshake and your mango milkshake, do you plan on extending your menu list with milkshakes? Is there anything that you're thinking about? Or?
As days go by and if another idea pops out of the box, I'll definitely want to put it back on my page because I love experimenting, as I said in my interview. So definitely if anything does come up, for sure it will definitely be on my page, and I like to entertain a lot of people with my new milkshakes.
So Asya, with making these milkshakes, what type of equipment do we need to have in our homes? Do you need a certain type of blender that you need to use?
Any blender that can capacity of making a milkshake, it's fine. So you don't need to have anything fancy in your home. Normal housewife that wants to try this, and there's no specifically where you have to tell your husband, please go buy me this blender. No, any blender that can be used in the house that is lengthwise and it's easier for you to be used, so you don't need a specific blender. So any blender in your home, you can make any milkshake with it.
So with half a liter milk, you get quite a fair amount
a lot, I would say a lot of milkshake that can come out. Everybody can enjoy it, so nobody is feeling that you are not being fair with them, because especially when it comes to chocolate, everybody can have a taste to it. I'm just going to throw it up with some fresh cream.
What do we have there?
I have some healthy snack chocolates, with dark chocolate, and it's got almonds and honey in it. Okay. So you can decorate it how you like with whatever on the top, because it's got the same effect and the same taste of almonds and honey and chocolate in it. So I always like to
bring out the same flavor.
Yes, bring out the same. So everybody has the same flavor on it.
All right.
And with some chocolate syrup on the top so everybody can enjoy, especially the kids, just to give it that more tasty and rich effect. So I think your kids are really going to enjoy this.
Okay, so Asya, we've done milkshakes and we find most people moving along the lines of juicing and smoothies.
Gee.
Do you have any recipes that you can share with our viewers with your breakfast smoothie on the go, or maybe just healthy juices that we could make now? In Durban gets very warm, so something refreshing?
Something refreshing where you can actually blend, work with your fruits. We would say maybe a pineapple, you can have mint leaves in it, ice water with ice cubes as well you can throw in, you can have a bit of a honey in it, and add a kiwi, you can add a green apple and blend it together. It gives it a very fresh, good effect because not only that it can be kept in the fridge for you to have on your summer days, but you can freeze it up as well and give it that icy kind of a taste. Not only being healthy, but it's absolutely divine, and it actually refreshes you for the whole day.
So can we just repeat that? It would be a pineapple.
You can have a small piece of pineapple.
Green apple.
A green apple. Obviously peel off the green apple without the skin. A bit of a honey in it. Ice water, ice cubes, and you can have a kiwi into it. You can add
a few mint leaves
and just to refreshen it, just to give it that refreshen.
Okay.
Then another one you can have, if you're willing to have with the yogurt, blend up banana, your pineapple, your green apple, and have a plain yogurt in it with nothing more. Just blend that and you can have that as a morning smoothie. Any fruit that you feel you are comfortable to eat and you want to have it like a smoothie in the morning, blend it with your plain yogurt. It's absolutely superb.
So I think your plain yogurt works as a base, and then you can add any fruit that's seasonal
any fruit that at that time, and you can just work around with the fruit. Some would be a bit more soury, some would be a bit more bitter, some would be a bit more sweet. So it depends on your taste buds and how you want your smoothie to be. You can do that. The other day I tried up a smoothie which with your all bran flakes, or you can have your Special K bran flakes. I blended that with some fruits and plain yogurt. So whatever fruits I had at home, I didn't feel like eating in the morning, so I blended that and I had that, and I just put like half a teaspoon of a honey inside just to give it that sweetness. It was divine.
Okay, so Asya, before we wrap up our show, what tips would you like to share with our viewers, our ladies out there? Any advice?
I would say always follow your dream as I have. Never feel afraid of putting your right leg forward, because you never know what's out there in this big world, because if you're not going to experiment as I have, you'll never know how far can you get. So follow your dreams and follow your heart. The best bet is always be calm and follow your heart, and it will definitely take you into the right path.
Okay. And how can our viewers get in touch with you should we need to have an event catered by you?
You can follow me on my page under Chef Asya, and all my details are on it. You can call me and WhatsApp me, number is over there as well. So I would love to hear from you guys. So do follow me on Chef Asya on Instagram.
Okay, so we need to contact you 1 week prior to an event.
You'll need to contact me a week before. You can actually message me that I have an event, but always a week before the event you'll need to liaise with me. We need to have a meeting set up in order to know what you guys are preparing for and what event are you all having.
Okay. Well, that was Asya Abu Baker, personal chef, making it rather easy for you to now entertain your guests at home. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Modern and Modest, and with me today we have Ashura Mutali all the way from Uganda, the owner and founder of Muslim Girls International. Assalamu alaikum Ashura, and welcome to Modern and Modest.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu fikum, my beloved sister, and I'm so privileged to be on this show.
Alhamdulillah. So Ashura, can you share with our viewers more about who Ashura is and what brings you to Durban?
Okay. Ashura Mutale is the founder and director of Muslim Girls International. I'm also an international inspirational and motivational speaker, and that is exactly what brings me to Durban. I've had a number of events, alhamdulillah. This is what I'm doing. I'm traveling all over. Not only Durban, I've been to so many other countries, alhamdulillah. And so finally, I had to get to SA, and specifically in Durban.
Great. So what is your favorite part of Durban?
Oh my God, my favorite part of Durban. Durban is so nice. It's a very nice part, and I think I love the beaches.
Okay.
Yes, the beaches must, and of course the shopping. This is for the women. I mean, we love shopping, so everything here is so lovely.
Okay, and how long have you been in Durban for, or should I say in South Africa for?
In South Africa, actually, I came for the first 2 weeks. I was in Durban, and then the third week I went to Swaziland. I also had some events there, and then I came back to South Africa for phase 2.
Okay.
And yes, I'll be moving out in a week's time, inshallah.
All right. So, Ashura, you mentioned that you're a motivational speaker. Tell us about what topics do you cover? What do you talk about?
Okay, I'm looking at the Muslimah in this .com era. When I talk about the Muslimah, I'm talking about the Muslim girl and Muslim women in this .com era, whereby we are diluting our identity. This is the hijab. Lately in the .com era, we feel we're embarrassed of coming out with our true identity. Somehow, somewhere in the societies that we live in, we are made to believe like we are backward, we are outdated, we are primitive, we are disorganized, we're lousy people, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to motivate the girls and the women that we are gifted to be Muslims. I'm trying to make them feel the gift, the precious gift. This is a precious gift from Allah. And I would love any Muslim, wherever you are, to feel this special in a very good way, to bring out yourself in a presentable way as a Muslimah, because as a Muslimah, there are do's and don'ts of a Muslimah. There are things that we can do and we have to do as Muslims, and there are things that we can't do as Muslims. So in this .com era, I'm trying to erase out that feeling like we are backward, like we don't suit in societies. I believe like we can live so happily with our pride as Muslims in the societies without breaking the laws, because you know, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, this is all about the world. It's one of the things that we shouldn't forget.
So your purpose of having these events is to motivate more women to adorn the hijab, to get them
to inspire them as well, to get them spiritually inspired, like to have the strength, the faith, absolute trust and hope in Allah, their creator. Because no matter what we do in this world, we have to know our purposes of creation, and this is none other than worshiping Allah. And so if you are worshiping Allah, can you do things that Allah wants you to do regardless? I hear of the .com era, you know, it's eating us up like beanwavel, but we have to know our purpose of life, and this is worshiping Allah, serving Allah.
So, Ashura, you know, it's always very exciting for us to hear stories of people taking Shahada. Can you share with our viewers where it started up for you, and how long are you wearing the hijab for?
SubhanAllah, Allahu Akbar. Thank you for that question. Actually, yes, I was born a Christian, and I never at one time thought I would embrace Islam, because to me, Islam was by default a wrong deen. That is where I grew up from. That's how we were meant to believe. So my dad reverted to Islam. When he reverted to Islam, I was just like, I never grew up with my dad. So I got to know him at the age of 9 years. So when he reverted to Islam, I was just like, whatever. I didn't want to know anything got to do with him, or else if I ever saw him again, I would bring him back. So when I met my dad, that was at the age of 13. I was a little grown and I would understand everything. I was so outspoken, so I would bring him back. As young as I was, I loved God. I felt that closeness to God. I could fast, I could pray. Like, just as young as I was, I could look in the sky and say, God, I want to serve you.
Okay.
Yeah. Then when I met my dad, I was like, Dad, but I think you definitely know where you went is wrong. Please come back to Christianity. And he just laughed. You know, he's my best friend. He just laughed. And then he was like, but give me proof. I didn't have proof actually, but all I know was that Jesus died for us on the cross, those things, and so I tried to give him that, and he said, but I have proof that where I am is the right religion. I was like, but what proof is that? And he said, bring the Bible. I said, the Bible? My Bible? Yes, bring the Bible. So he gave me verses from the Old Testament. Actually, the Old Testament is Islam. You'll find that there are so many verses that were erased that really spell out so many things about Islam, like veiling, like not cutting the beards for the men, like washing up body parts while going to pray, like removing the shoes, plus so many other, the pork stuff, that we don't have to eat pork or else God will be angry with us, so many things, subhanallah. And when I read these things, I was just like, but how come I never saw this? I never heard any pastor reading these things. He said they are a lot small, and besides there's so many versions of Bibles, and some of the Bibles, the verses have been erased. So there's so many contradictions in the Bible. Some verses say different things, but different verses say different, same verses in the Bible, but they say different things. Then some verses are not in this Bible, and yet they are in the other Bible. So just saw a little bit of confusion. And I was so surprised about just everything. The circumcision, I'm telling you, the Old Testament is Islam. The Old Testament is the untouched book.
So you were 13 when you've discovered this.
Exactly.
So when did you decide to take Shahada after your dad revealed all this through to you?
This wasn't about my dad, first of all, but I was that young, intelligent, outspoken girl. So had my dad shown me the proof, actually, I wasn't ready. But there and then, I never took any chances. I never took any second thoughts. I took Shahada. I just know.
So at the age of 13?
Exactly. Because I was praying to God, I want to serve you. So when I saw this, I just definitely know this is the right path. There and then, I took my Shahada and embraced Islam, alhamdulillah. Though as young as I was, just began my teenager, it wasn't so easy to get me in this hijab. Oh, subhanallah. As naughty as young girls are, I was just, exposed, alhamdulillah. And I never thought at one time I would dress up like this, though I wanted to pray 5 times a day. Every time I would move with my veil, wherever that it was, and I had the adhan. When time comes to pray, I would pray my 5 prayers.
So you're very determined from a rather young age as well.
Exactly. I never missed out my prayer. Alhamdulillah.
So Ashura, that was a beautiful story about where you've started out in that many years. But talk to us about Muslim Girls International. What is this all about? Okay. And what prompted you to start out something like this? Okay,
the Muslim Girls International, this is about, this is a dawah and charity work. When it gets to dawah, this is what I'm doing. And not only me, I have other members where we have caravans. Sometimes we go to the islands and preach to the people, tell the people, get them. We're just trying to, we're not calling that non-Christians, like we're trying to debate, but reminding the Muslims themselves, because some people need a hit, a slap hit on the head, like wake up. So we're trying to get them back in, inspiring them, trying to, bring them, create the awareness of Allah being in control. Because so many people out there have lost hope. They've given up on themselves, even the fact that they know that Allah is in control and Allah is all watching. So we're trying to
just reinforce that.
Reinforce that and give them all the hope, because truly in Allah, He's the only one who can never disappoint us.
So what we're going to do is, Ashura, we'll take an ad break, and when we're back, you can tell us more about Muslim Girls International and how long this has been around for.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Modern and Modest, and with me today we have Ashu all the way from Uganda. So we chatted about Muslim Girls International, and you've been touring countries and you've visited many countries. So I presume that it is present in other countries, seeing that it is international.
Yes, it is.
How many countries have you covered thus far, and what has your response been like?
Okay. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Nigeria, I've been to Sierra Leone, I've been to Zambia, I've been to Malawi, I've been to Swaziland, then South Africa. And I have so many pending invitations, may Allah accept, so that He leads me all the way to those places because they're waiting for me as well. Well, my intention is to reviving the true identity of a Muslimah in the .com era. When I talk about the true identity, like you can stand out somewhere and they'll definitely tell you're a Muslimah without asking or wondering, is she a Muslimah? Or because so many people are trying to copycat our style. The style, I mean the veil. Some people are tying turban, some people, but I mean the true identity, the way a true Muslimah should dress out and speak without words. Like this speaks out without words.
So how long has it been for you taking on the hijab? How long have you been full into hijab? Tell us where that began and how did it start out for you?
Actually, just like I told you, I embraced Islam when I was a little teen. So I just stayed there. All it mattered was the prayer. After all, I pray 5 times a day. That was it all. Then when I got, one time I was window shopping and I had the adhan, and I told the gentleman that let me go pray first. He was like, you're going to pray? I said, yes, I'm a Muslim. But how? You know, he was so surprised. I usually carried my big veil, so I would pray with it. And he was like, because I was this kind of girl who loved fashion so much. Like I was so into it. I loved the bling bling, the dangles, everything. I loved to shine wherever I reached. I loved to be recognized. You know, I was that kind of person. So I just felt like, no, I should stay in this. And every time I tried on putting on the bint style is this. I felt like my face was getting a big, my cheeks were swollen. So I said, subhanAllah, I can't really wear this. But then little by little, when he gave that comment, it stayed on in my mind. I kept thinking about it. I felt so guilty. I was like, didn't I look? So someone had to doubt I'm a Muslim. So little by little, I began feeling ashamed of showing my hair. I began with the turban, but then I stayed with the bling bling, the belt, the dangles. So, but little by little, every time I wore this, I just saw myself, I was trending, but I know this wasn't the right thing that I had to do. So I could pray to Allah there and then, yeah, Allah, please put me in the right picture of a Muslimah. You get it? Because I was feeling like I had to be a voice. That thing, it was a calling, that calling. You know, we all have special callings in some special way. That's also another big story. But I was feeling it. You get it? Because at one time, I gave up on a big job on one of the big TV stations in my country simply because they wanted me to put off the veil. Okay. So I felt like I had a vision. I would be a voice to the voiceless out there. So I began praying to her, but I definitely can't be a voice to the voiceless if I'm not dressed
appropriately.
Yes.
Sure.
So, but this was fighting with my own soul. You know, the hardest battle is fighting your own soul because this is what you want exactly, and then Allah wants you to be something else. So I prayed to Allah every time. I loved lipstick so much and everything, you know, the makeup. Hey. Then I could pray to Allah that Allah, please put me in the right picture. Then little by little, I began getting uncomfortable in the belt. So every time I got so filled up after eating, I felt like the belt was squeezing me. You get it? So I just began getting uncomfortable with the belt and to hell with the belt. I put off the belt. And then I began getting headaches with the big dangles. I loved them so much. I realized, you know, I put off that.
So you felt you were getting a message in that way to start turning towards the full
Actually,
hijab?
I didn't really realize it initially, but as time went on, then the lipstick began itching me. I changed another brand. Said, no, come on, this can't happen to me. I changed it. I had forgotten about the prayer. So when the lipstick began itching me, I almost went to the doctor because this was serious. Then, oh, I remembered. Allah does things in the most amazing way. Allah makes the impossibilities possible. He changes the unchangeable, subhanAllah. So I just definitely know He might have answered me in this way. So when it began itching, I just realized it switched back to the prayer that I prayed to Allah. And then the wanja is okay, alhamdulillah, it's even recommendable. But when I wear wanja, eventually, my
So
eyes
that would be your
could
eyeliner?
itch. Yeah, the eyeliner,
Okay.
which is okay in Islam. We're even recommended the women, we can put, even the men, I think so, they can. But with me, specifically me, it now makes my eyes itch. So I gave up on just everything. And I just got the confidence. Because being a Muslimah, I feel that pride, like I'm proudly a Muslimah. So I'm praying to Allah to put nur on my face, even without makeup. Alhamdulillah. That is the way that it is. And so I just, it's a mindset.
So when did all this happen, Ashura?
Yeah, this happened like in 2016. It's just a few years
About 13
ago.
years, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's why I don't condemn anyone. I don't pinpoint out anyone. This is one step at a time. I've been there. That's exactly why I feel I'm the right person to address these things. As a Muslim revert, I've been there. I know what it means, like you're not a Muslim and then you hear about Islam and then someone tries to talk to you about Islam, how you feel, and then that other bit that you're trying to take in what they're telling you. What it feels like you're a Muslim, but then this hijab thing, then what it means like you're trying to adopt the hijab. I know what it means. It's one step at a time, though there is a need to rush this because that's what I usually tell my sisters. You never know when death will hit you.
Sure.
Yes, though I don't condemn people. It's not up to you, but it's up to you to pray for yourself.
Just to get some guidance.
Exactly. Pray to Allah, He changes.
So just coming back to, apart from being a motivational speaker and the founder of Muslim Girls International, you also have a brand that you've come out with. Talk to us about the brand. What type of clothing do you make? And just give us more about
Yeah,
that.
my brand is Ashu Hijab Wise. Ashu for Ashura. Yes, Hijab Wise. This is my own style, like the way I believe hijab should be. This the looser the cloth, the valuable the hijab. The duller the color, the valuable the hijab. Because I believe, like, the reasons as to why hijab is recommended. And one of the reasons is to reduce attractions to the opposite sex. So just wear anything. You know how much they think we wear sacks. They're telling us we're wearing curtains, curtains that are put in windows and sacks because
Yeah.
a sack has no shape. But for as long as one thing that we should know, we have to be smart, representable. Let's change the picture of how they look at us. Like we are disorganized, we are untidy, we're not smart, we just wear sacks. Let your sack be in position, presentable, smart, clean. With the case of the makeup, I'm not saying we have to look untidy, crappy, and ashy skins. Find the right cream for you. And then, yes, just bring out yourself in that representable way.
So do you make them in colors? What are your color choices?
My color choices, actually, I can wear just any color if it's not, we're discouraged to wear the hot pink, the yellow, those
Very
bright
bright
yeah,
colors.
very bright colors.
Okay.
But one thing someone should know is that the duller the color, the valuable.
Less striking. So
Yeah.
you're looking at colors that are not very bright.
Exactly. So I have like 6 styles, different styles of my brand. Yeah, different styles. So someone will just point at this, or I like it this way or this way, and there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So with your hijab, you make the full garment, the headscarf and the dress and everything that goes together with it.
And more so of the styles that I have, they have hoods.
Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to, yeah, some have this, just like the one I'm wearing right now, but so many of the others have the hoods, like it comes from up to down.
Okay. So Ashura, just before we wrap up our show today, what message would you like to share with our viewers?
Well, the message that I would like to share is to encourage my beloved Muslims out there to be proud of being Muslims. Let the whole world know, so we've got to let it show. Please be the Muslim ambassadors. Carry that flag so confidently up high, because we still have the flag, but if we will play around with it, it's gonna slip out of hand. And for anybody who would like to get more of my great inspirations, please simply get yourself on my social media pages. This is Ashura Mutale Diamonds. That's on Facebook. Yes, I call myself Diamonds because I believe every Muslimah is diamonds. Then, so Ashura Mutale Diamonds, that's my account. And then my page, Facebook page, is Ashura Mutale Fans page. Then for Instagram, check out with Ashura Mutale official page. Then with Twitter, there is Ashura at Ashura Lovely. Then YouTube, Golden Ash TV. You can either put in that or Ashura Mutale. I'm there. So just ask me about anything. Talk to me about anything. I'm a counselor.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on our show. It was definitely very inspirational. Beautiful words. And I like the way you've titled yourself as Diamond and Golden, which is quite nice though.
Mashallah.
All right. Thank you for watching Modern and Modest with myself, Noshina Ghani and Ashura. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.